Hey, what's up YouTube? This Biker Caliente. I'm here in the Caliente garage to give you guys an update about my Honda Goldwing. In part one, I couldn't figure out why my Honda Goldwing wouldn't crank. And a lot of you guys that watches my videos, you reached out. A lot of you started emailing me, texting me, and calling me with concerns about my Honda Goldwing. So I want to give you guys an update and let you know that my Honda Goldwing is now starting. I want to talk to you about what I believe happened that prevented my Honda Goldwing from actually cranking up. So stay tuned to this video and we're going to dive into the problem that I was having with my Honda Goldwing. So let's get started. So before we get started, I would like to just thank all of my Caliente viewers and subscribers. So many of you reached out to me with concerns about my Honda Goldwing. I mean, people that I haven't heard from in years, months. It's been a long time, and I appreciate you guys reaching out, showing concerns about my Honda Goldwing, and just offering your thoughts and your opinions about what could be going on with my bike. So before we dive into it, I just want to demonstrate to you guys that my Honda Goldwing will crank up. I have a new battery installed, and I'm just going to talk to you about what I believe happened to my Honda Goldwing. But before we do that, I just want to show you guys that my Honda Goldwing will crank up, and then we can talk about it. So I want to make sure that my key fob is on. 3 means it's on. 1 means it's off. So I want to make sure that I have the key fob on. 1, 2, 3. Key fob is on. I'm going to turn on the ignition. Well, before I turn on the ignition, I'm just going to pull the brake. I'm going to press down on the ignition button. So my Honda Goldwing is starting. I just want to show you guys that it is starting. I'm just going to take my second camera. I'm going to turn on the ignition.
X band, K band, KA band.
I'm going to turn that off. I'm just going to press this ignition button. The Honda Goldwing is starting. Now, I do notice that I have a check engine light on. I do have a check engine light on for some reason. I know some of you guys even mentioned try to crank the bike without turning the middle button, which I can. I can press the button. Everything is lit up, but I do have a check engine light on. But the bike is running. As you guys can see, I demonstrated that my Honda Goldwing will crank up. I do have a check engine light on. My plan is to take the bike out and take it out for a test ride and just ride it around. I want to see if the check engine light is going to cut off. If not, then at some point I'm going to take it into the Honda dealership and have them to check this check engine light that I'm having on the bike. But I've heard cases where guys, check engine lights have came on, and after they rode it around for a while, the check engine light went off. So, but we'll deal with that later. The good news is I do have the Honda Goldwing running. It will start. And so I just want to give you guys an update. Now, what do I think happened with my Honda Goldwing? Why did it not start? it wouldn't start for some reason. All of the lights was coming on, but when I pressed the ignition switch, it just wouldn't turn over. I tried to boost off the battery. That didn't seem to help. The battery that I had in there was the Yuasa. It was showing a full charge, but for some reason the Honda Goldwing wouldn't crank. So what do I believe actually happened? I believe that the red ignition switch must have got some water down in the switch. I'm not sure if I had issues with the battery. I did change out the battery. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. I've been hearing cases where riders have washed their Honda Goldwing and water got, I guess, in places that it shouldn't have, which in my case around that red switch, and it lost contact. I believe that the red ignition switch was not making proper contact due to water, and the bike just wouldn't start, because up to that point the bike ran fine. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have any problems until I washed the bike. But once I tried to hit the starter switch or the ignition switch, the bike just wouldn't turn over for some reason. So I wasn't sure if it was the battery or if it was the switch. And I tried for several hours to get the bike cranked. It would not start, as I demonstrated in part 1. If you guys missed that video, be sure to check it out. Okay, so how did I get the bike started? I tested all of my fuses. I know a lot of you guys chimed in, and I showed that in part 1. I tested all of the fuses, and all of the fuses was showing good. Now here is 2 fuses that I didn't check, and I'm going to take my camera so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Here inside of this housing, you got 2 fuses. One says accessory main. It's a 25 amp. The other says ignition main. It's a 30 amp. So we have a yellow and we have a green fuse. One says accessory main 20 amp. One says ignition main 30 amp. The fuses that I actually took out, because I replaced the fuses, I took these fuses out. They show some signs of wear, but the fuses test good. You know, you can see a little, you know, it looks like a little bit of rust. I'm not sure if that's a burnt mark or rust, but you can see some wear. I changed out both of these fuses. Immediately after I changed out these fuses, the bike cranked. The bike started. So put a pin in that. So the bike wouldn't crank. I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. I let it sit for hours. I could not figure out what was going on with it. I finally decided to test out these 2 fuses, this accessory main and the ignition main. I took the fuses out. Once I put the fuses back in, the bike started. I don't know if that reset the ignition system when I pulled those fuses. At that point, I hadn't disconnected the battery. I still had that Yuasa battery in the bike. Once I pulled those 2 fuses and put them back in, the bike, it cranked up. I noticed that the check engine light was on. So if any of you, if you have the new style Honda Goldwing, your models 2018 through 2025, if you attempt to crank your bike and you get lights, but you can't get your ignition switch to hit, or if the bike just won't turn over, change out those 2 fuses, or at least pull them out, wait a few minutes and put them back. I believe that reset my ignition system. I'm not 100% sure, but after I changed those fuses, the bike started up. So I just want to put that out there. If anybody, you've been having this problem, even if you wash your bike and you go to hit that switch and it doesn't work, pull those 2 fuses down there hopefully that resets the ignition system and the bike may crank up, which in my case, the bike cranked up. You also have a 10 amp ignition fuse right there in the fuse box on the third row. Now, initially I checked that 10 amp fuse, I pulled it out. It didn't do any good. The bike still wouldn't crank. It wasn't until I pulled those two fuses on the bottom, the ignition and the main inside of that white protective cap, the bike started. Now I do have a check engine light going on, but the bike is running. I did demonstrate to you guys. Now let's talk about the battery. I recently changed out the battery to this Yuasa battery. Is this Yuasa battery good? It shows that it has proper volts. But here's the thing about batteries that I've learned. Batteries can show proper voltage, but they may not have enough cranking amps. The only way I can determine that, I have to go and have this battery tested. It's showing proper volts, but a battery could not have proper amps. I'm not saying that that is the case with this Yuasa, but I just decided to remove this battery out of the scenario. That way I can't point fingers at the Yuasa. I decided to go with the Duracell. So I have a new Duracell battery, and I have two new fuses, the ignition 30 amp and the accessory main 20 amp, and the bike is running. The only thing remain is for me to take the Honda Goldwing out and just ride it around and see if I can get this check engine light to turn off. I'm not sure why it even came on, but just remember, if you try to crank your Honda Goldwing and the bike lights up like normal, check that 10 amp fuse inside of the fuse box. If it's good, pull those two fuses on the bottom. Just take them out, wait a few minutes and put them back in and see if the bike will start up, which in my case, it worked. I do believe I might have got some water down in the ignition switch, or the battery may not have enough cranking amps, but I can't point fingers at the battery yet because it showed proper voltage. So I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you guys know that my Honda Goldwing is running. I'm gonna take it out and see if I can just test ride it, and hopefully this check engine light goes off. If the light doesn't go off, I'm gonna get it into the Honda dealer and try to see if they can hook up their code reader and figure out why am I getting that check engine light. But I just wanted to update you guys. Everything is good. The bike starts. I'm gonna take it out for a test ride. So I'm gonna crank it up one more time and take this thing out for a test ride. Here we go. I'm gonna just pull the switch. The bike is cranking up. Alternator is charging. Everything looks good. I'm getting 14.38. Alternator's charging. The alternator's charging, 14.38. The check engine light is on, but the bike sounds normal. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. If you guys have any questions or any comments, don't hesitate to put it down in the comment section below. Once again, I would like to thank all of my viewers that chimed in on my last video. It had an overwhelming response. A lot of you guys reached out, but I would like to just thank you guys for checking in on me. But my Honda Goldwing is running, so that's the most important part. A new battery, new fuses. One thing I would like to add, because I know there are some potential buyers that may be considering purchasing the Honda Goldwing, and maybe you may think that the Honda Goldwings has some issues and maybe you're hesitant to want to purchase a Honda Goldwing. Let me say this. This is one of the best motorcycles that I've ever purchased. So anything man-made can have a problem, can have an issue. It doesn't matter. The space shuttle can have an issue. because anything man-made is subject to have a problem. But in my opinion, the Honda Goldwing is one of the most reliable motorcycles on the road. It is reliable. So if you are thinking about and considering the Honda Goldwing and maybe you're on the fence, it is still one of the best riding motorcycles that I've ever purchased. I just recommend that if you purchase a motorcycle, just pick up a warranty. Just like if you went out and purchased a car or a television set, it's always good to just pick up a warranty. My original warranty is up on my Honda Goldwing, but I do have an extended warranty, and I think it runs to like 2028 or 2029. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, click the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And also, please click that thanks button, make a donation to the Caliente YouTube channel. It really helps me to bring you guys some new material. And don't forget to click the bell notification. It'll notify you every time I post a new video. This is your boy Chris out here in the Caliente garage. Look for my installation video of the Duracell battery in this Honda Goldwing. And I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces. Hey, let me give you guys a quick update. My check engine light just went off. I hadn't even taken the bike out for a test ride. The check engine light went off. The only thing that I did, I turned on the ignition, or I turned on the battery, basically. The bike lit up, and it was on for maybe a minute or so without running, and the check engine light just went off. The bike was lit up. I didn't try to start it, and after about a minute, it just cut off on its own. So just giving you guys an update. No check engine light, but I'm going to take it out for a test ride. Talk to you guys later. See ya.